At the cabin, we always sleep with one ear on the various other sounds that are happening around us, and the occasion for this particular poem is one of those sounds taking me out of an afternoon sleep, and the poem is called The Bear. Woken from an afternoon nap, you rise only to descend your wood butcher stairway past the vaulted, multi-mullioned window on whose other side now sits a bear, Buddha-like, on his backside, head concealed in the Rubbermaid garbage can he holds aloft between two paws. In 60 summers, you've never seen such a creature anywhere near this place, found no scat, heard no tales of neighbors' fruit trees bent or broken, undaunted for all this time to ramble, kids in tow, down the remnant logging roads and deer paths that make a park of these toy woods, so close to town now that town has devoured all the land between. Yet here he sits, or she, for all you know, fur so black it's almost blue, only thin glass between you, so suddenly proximate you are pressed to say what you are seeing. This vaudeville act, ursine slapstick chaplain who invites you to forget all danger, to forget you are still one animal coming upon another. A single noisy tread, one telltale stare, and you are busted. As the beautiful comedian detects your gaze behind the 15 panes that transform bear to cubist caricature, your clown of darkness who regains all fours and turns literal tail to amble, not run, back into the maze of forest and conspiratorial salal, but not before you throw sense and caution to the wind, wrench open the back door, and follow at a distance, axe in hand, berating your Bruin buffoon for transforming forever this benign acreage into something less safe, if more magical, where visiting spirits leave behind their perfect signature, which to all who will listen over dinner and wine, you reveal with a flourish at the tale's end, the garbage can's rectangular lid and 4 neat punctures arranged in a fan, an arc, like a winning hand of poker, Joker's Wild. The woods around here are the woods we walk through, sometimes just bush bashing, but often on trails. And we are always finding things, signs of earlier life, and often we find animals who have died in the bush. And this poem comes from one of those walks. It's called "The Animals Lie Down to Die." A broad cedar's lower branches fan wide above a dry, soft vellum of years of needles and the skeleton of a deer, undisturbed, a curled calligraphy of vertebrae and delicate femurs, skull and lower jaw, a few cursive hairs. It lies off the trail, hidden from view in these illegible woods, unlogged for more than 100 years, springboard cuts like graffiti from another age still visible on stumps and some of the mature firs the fallers spared. Hospice workers say the dying take their cue to go when vigilant friends leave the room, a smoke, a drink, a bite to eat, as though the work of death is a private business that needs a person's full attention, free of attendant grief, the mourner's urge to edit the page, to redact. The deer's instinct told it to avoid the open field a few hundred yards away, to shun the noisy dialogue of cloud and sun in favor of shade, of the whispered hieroglyphics of eternity. My mother, too, composed her departure in secret, while her family read or slept, curled up in hospital loungers nearby, a furtive exit we registered only after breath had left her, the indecipherable moment of translation, hers and hers alone. So just as lots of things pass away here in the woods, there are also creatures that depend on that, such as the local turkey vultures. And this poem arises out of one day when I noticed quite a few of them convening in a particular area of the forest, and I followed them. The poem is called Gathering. The vultures rise from the brush in twos and threes to sulk on branches of nearby firs and maples every time I come around, hoping to catch a glimpse of what has lured them to this dense patch of forest, choked by salal and junk willow. But their feast lies just out of sight, hidden in the undergrowth where I will not venture for fear it is a cougar's latest kill he may return to while I am gawking, a kid caught between curiosity and caution, unwilling to wait months for a sketch of scattered bones, and too afraid to risk joining them forever, paralyzed, able only to take a kid's revenge by disturbing these huddled raptors at their busy work, the dismantling of some creature, of watching them take reluctant flight at my arrival, their small heads twisting to stare at me with what I can understand only as resentment, even though I know I'm the one who is resentful, called away from stoking the stove, keeping the cold at bay, drawn by the rush of their great wings. One of the joys of this forest is the occasional large fir that remains from the logging that happened a long time ago, but even they die and have to be taken down if they're dangerous. And this poem comes out of one of those firs coming down, and it's called Look at the Time. Hydro's high rigger checks his gear once, twice, before topping our right-of-way's lifeless grand fir, chainsaw swinging from his hip, orange helmet dripping rain. 10-foot lengths fall, plant themselves deep in forest bracken, each bucked section landing heavier than the last, until what's left poses no danger to power lines. When he leaves, I count rings, watch years come and go by quarter inches, stop when I reach my age. Every winter of my life, each spring, contour lines on a map, childhood, adolescence, marriage, all here, charted and contained in this dismembered trunk, which I will burn piece by piece, releasing energy stored before I could even speak. If only I could burrow between these layers, drill into a single year, breathe that air again, see everyone as they once were, walk down streets as though they were new, recover all of that, gather it up, hold it more firmly than I held it then, when days were for squandering and nights passed in a blink. This balsam grew until it could grow no longer, needles turning brown, sap retreating, roots relinquishing their grasp, alive only with bugs, eating their way through Augusts and Aprils, from drought to deluge, obliterating days and weeks, whole decades with their hunger. Summer heat will dry what I scavenge. Wedges I will split and split again, feeding them when October comes into an iron maw, that will transform history's sunshine to flame and smoke, release it into the autumn air.